we're on to one of my favorite seasons of all time, season 25. We're going to do, look, there's probably going to be broken up into a few reviews. I'm probably going to review each one individually because there's just so much stuff to review. Oh, I don't know, Daisy. There's just so much stuff to review. But yeah, look, this season is really super my era. It came together wonderfully, right? Doctor Who was dead on its knees, finished, right? Being kicked in the balls relentlessly. And then season 25 came and everything was better. Really, I mean, it really did. It's like as soon as Doctor showed up with Ace with a boombox in 1963, found out now. Whilst a lot of praise has to be heaped onto Ben Oronovich's head, also there's the production of it needs to be lauded massively, right? Originally, it was supposed to be blue Daleks versus red Daleks, right? Which is a bit naff. But when they made it into white and gold Daleks versus grey and black Daleks, that made it brilliant because it tied into, was it Revelation? The last one was called Revelation, right? Yeah, I think so. Where Davros was hiding out and created a whole new breed of Daleks that were gold and white, right? And in the end of that story, the grey and black Daleks showed up and they arrested Davros, right? So now there's clearly been this civil war going on. And the power dynamic has continued, so much so that the grey and black Daleks are now the renegade Daleks. They're the smaller fools. So, and I picked up on all of this instantly, right? Earlier, and there's a lot of so doing it that way. I think the special weapon Daleks is a stroke of genius. It was supposed to be like a Masters of the Universe floating platform. I think this is better, making it look like just really heavy, trundling, terrible thing. Now, I remember the novelization of it, right? It's interesting because novelization of it has really picked up on all these things and carried them through, right? Novelization is excellent. I think that you can get it as a book on tape. Do they make reference to Big Finish in regards to Remembrance? One of my favorite series is the Countermeasure spin-off. They didn't talk about it anywhere on this disc, right? They actually should have done, right? They really should have done. They could have done the spin-offs from. I don't know why they didn't do that. That's really stupid of them. They really missed the trick there. Because there's more than one thing. There's, I guess you could just do a series on countermeasures. Right, and it's really why didn't they do a little documentary about that? Just get talking heads, right? It's I'm now annoyed, right? I'm really damn annoyed about that. Oh, what a trick they missed. Never mind. Anyway, so again, this comes packed with extra features. So initially starting off the story is excellent, right? It rebooted Doctor Who. It was a soft reboot, and it worked. It was so contemporary, right? It was really of its time. Ace was great. It was a whole new Doctor companion relationship. Like the companion was an adopted child by the Doctor, and he was parenting her. All right, and you see that much more clearly now. And it's very interesting. And the Doctor's a bit of a fucked up, weird parent. Now, Andrew Cartmel, I think this is where he learned Doctor Who in season 24, and then he had a clear vision. And part of that clear vision, obviously, was giving the Doctor more mystery, but the style of the show, right? And you see this much more in Happiness Patrol. But the entire style of this show could come right out of Judge Dredd or Judge Dredd magazine. Right, all of these fit that same kinetic style. Much more show it in Happiness Patrol, right? When you got this, the villains you have in Happiness Patrol could have been drawn by Carlos Equiza. Is that you pronounce his name? They are such traditional Judge Dredd villains, Candyman and Helen A. Like, it's so crazy. It's so 2000 AD. Now, this is at least 2000 AD. This is the most like straight on action adventure. And again, in fact, it's action adventure and lore expanding and building all at the same time. It's a great anniversary story. Really, just like that, knocks it out of the park. Absolutely knocks it out of the park. So on the disc, I think the special feature everybody goes through first is the special edition. So the special edition I imagined it'll be like a feature-length widescreen thing, and it's not that at all. It's 4 episodes long, in the 1980s, square screen format. Re-edited, so it's definitely a lot tighter in a lot of places, and given new effects. Now, how necessary were the new effects in this? I don't really think they were that necessary. Like in 1980, 1988, 89, whenever it was, when the guy's skeleton lit up, even though the Dalek blast wasn't visible, right, on the originally transmitted version, when that skeleton lit up, it was. I couldn't really notice. I didn't really see any difference at all. Now, when you saw the skeleton in Dalek in Christopher Eccles' episode, let's see if I can pull it up. One sec. I can pull this up. 1 second. If there we go, doink. There we go. Doink. Seventh Doctor, Remembrance of the Daleks, HD. So, okay, let's look at episode 1 with the original effect. And we're specifically looking at the Dalek experimental effect. Oh, here it is. So this is the original version. I'm telling you, we genuinely wet ourselves when that happened. Right? So this is the new version. Do new effects. And again, for me, I can't tell the difference. This is I can tell the difference here. Was it really necessary? I don't know. There we go. So slightly different, but not necessary, right? I mean, just over here, like this is a smoother. But I thought the model shot in the original was really beautiful, right? So it wasn't necessary. I don't really feel it was. However, the special edition, the edits, I would say is very good. Like there's a bit where what's it called again? Mike Dursley, who we're going to talk about in a minute, was on his radio, right? And a Dalek shoots at him and he just misses. So they have a shot of him inside the cab where you see the Dalek blast go right before his nose. Very much adds to it, right? It really very much adds to it. And there's a lot of bits of very nice, tight editing that tells the story well, right? Tells it better than it did before. So I would say, look, I'm going to say I haven't seen the Silver Nemesis one yet, but I finished watching Happiness Patrol, and I started watching Greatest Show, and all these special editions are excellent, right? They are excellent beyond excellent. Kudos to Pete Mateague, right? Who doesn't reinvent it, right? He instead he tells it as it was originally meant to be told, just enhanced, and it really worked, right? Fine. So we got the updated effects. You have it in 3 versions. You have the original transmitted version, updated effects, and then you have the special edition on disc 2. You got making a documentary. It's got Grain Shield music. It's really good. This was done from the DVD. As you got a little bit of Michael Schurd being interviewed, Andrew Morgan. It really is. It's a great little making of, right? Definitely worth watching. Infotext audio commentary audio commentary was interesting. Remembrances, that's a small featurette talking about the different links in Remembrance of the Daleks to different the callbacks, which there's a lot of them in there, right? But it wasn't overpowering as well. And this was, generally speaking, loved by the Behind the Sofa crew. You had Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred, and it changed. They had a third person. It changed with each story. So in Remembrance of the Daleks, it was Karen Gledhill who was the good-looking blonde from Countermeasures. And then you have Bonnie Langford and Nicola Bryant. Bemused, but they seem to be enjoying it, right? and Janet Fielding, Sarah Sutton, and Wendy Pabry. Okay, so everybody ended up being very complimentary. Even Janet Fielding, when she saw the life-size Dalek shuttle, she was like, "Well, we never had money like that poured us in our day, right?" No, I think they probably had less money. So we got the season 25 press trailer featuring exclusive linking material from the Doctor No. That's kind of fun. Trails and continuities. Again, there's lots of like media appearances on the rest of this disc. There is Daytime Live. Oh, I remember that. They had John Pertwee, Sylvester McCoy, and Sophie Aldred promote the show's 25th anniversary. Points of View. Blue Peter, always good Blue Peter. So Sophie Aldred wishes Blue Peter happy birthday. That's from 88. Sylvester McCoy promotes new season on breakfast time. They're always very weird and stinted, right? They're like, yeah, so what are you doing here? Well, you invited me. Take 2, open air. There was a couple of additional there. Why don't you? Yeah. They had Doctor Who fans on that. I was a Doctor Who fan, I should say. Daytime Live. They talked about the radiophonic workshop and Kilroy. Oh, used to love Kilroy. It had Sylvester McCoy and Louise Jameson. What a weird pairing, right? So all this stuff is fun, inferior, right? It really is genuinely just fun, inferior, which I enjoyed. This too, again, as a special edition. The excellent Davros Connections documentary. So it's like an hour long or 15 minutes long about the history of Davros. It's really good, right? It's really a fantastic documentary, but also a fantastic documentary is Looking for Dursley, right? So Dursley is the very attractive chap, right? Who ended up being the evil turncoat, the evil racist, right? But here, let me pull up a picture of him. Looking for Dursley, who, what's the name? The main character from It's a Sin was based on, right? So yeah, you know who this guy is. So firstly, everybody's in behind the scene will say, "Oh, Dursley, oh, it's so sexy," right? And I think Bonnie Langford does say in a moment that, oh, and he can play straight so well. Oh, so he was definitely setting hearts aflutter, right? He is a great leading man, potential, really good actor. Again, if you can play straight well and be like super duper gay, then good for you, right? Then I think you're a good actor. I have never seen Ncuti Gatwa be straight, right? Ever. I've seen Simon Callow be straight. I've seen lots. I've seen what's the name? Gandalf be straight. It's great, yeah. But like, you know, they're good actors. I don't think Ncuti Gatwa is. Bottom line. So this documentary is great. They film it around the school where they shot Remembrance of the Daleks, the place that stood in for Coal Hill, and apparently it's now like it's an art center. Like it might be an adult education art center. I couldn't really tell, but it looked like kind of nice place. And people had great. Oh no, this one that wasn't that documentary. That was a different one, or maybe it was. They did have it there. I think maybe they started there. Then they went back to Dursley's hometown in the Isle of Wight, and then the theater he got started. It was a great documentary, right? I had no interest in this guy whatsoever. It's tragic that he died, right? He should have had a big break. This guy should have been a movie star. He could sing and he could dance. He should have been a movie star. And it's like, you should have written Biggles, for example. He could have been a huge action hero. It could have done a lot of things, right? And again, it's tragic they died. But again, fantastic documentary. So you got a few good ones on this one. But yeah, I think all the stories have the same quality. So, man, yeah, this is awesome. Awesome, right? That's how I would describe this. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.